Hi everyone, welcome to Prim Art Studio. Honestly, there is something beautiful about putting time, care and creativity into a piece made just for someone. And I can't wait to show you how this one comes together. Let's get started. Alright, before we jump into the painting, I have taped my watercolor paper onto a wooden easel using washi tape. Make sure it's stuck down and nice. I also did a light rough sketch just to map out the main shapes of the landscape. I'm spraying some clean water over watercolor pad to activate the paints and soften them up. Before mixing anything on paper, I did a quick color check on a small card so I know what color are suitable for. After my colors blend out, it's time to start laying down the first washes. Starting with the first layer of the landscape now. For the sunlight area, I'm going in with Camboge yellow hue, letting it softly spread across the sky. To create the actual sun, I'm lifting up some of the paint right in the center using a paper towel. This gives that bright glowing effect where the sun is the strongest. While the paper is still wet, I'm moving down to start painting the grasslands. I'm using verdant hue for the darker, shadowed area of the grass and sap green for the lighter, sunlit parts. I'm making sure to leave an open space in the middle. That's where the path will go later. For the path itself, I'm using a soft shade of turquoise mixed with ivory black, letting it flow naturally between the grasses. Towards the center of the path, closer to where the sunlight is the strongest, I'm blending in some yellow ochre. This highlights the reflection of sunlight on the smoother parts of the road. The next layer should be more vibrant. I'm letting this first layer dry completely before moving on. I'm re-wetting the surface, but only the area around the sun. I want to keep that area dry for now to preserve the bright white of the sun. I'm going over with the same colors I used earlier, Camboge yellow hue, cadmium orange, and then darkening the values slightly to add more depth and warmth around the sun. I'm carefully going around the white area of the sun, making sure not to touch it so it stays bright and glowing. Next, I'm lifting off a bit of paint around the sun's edges to create some sun rays that really stand out. Now I'm moving over to one side of the grassland. I'm starting to paint the dark and light areas of the grass, just like in the first layer, but I'm adding a bit more contrast this time. I'm letting the colors naturally merge together, allowing the paint to flow and blend into each other while the paper is still slightly damp. Now I'm moving to the opposite of the grassland and repeating the same process, going between the light and the darker shades. As I get closer to the sun, the area of the grass appears lighter, so I'm blending in more yellow tones to reflect that sunlight. The shades of the green gradually transitions to a warm yellow as they come closer to the sun. Moving down to the road, I'm darkening the curves where the shadow falls. This helps the road to give some depth and make it feel more realistic. I'm also focusing on the middle of the road, highlighting it with a bit more yellow ochre to show where the sunlight is hitting the smooth surface, making it glow. Now that we established the main shapes, lighting and shadows, it's time to move on to adding the finer details such as trees and grasses that will really bring this landscape into life. I'll be painting the trees in different shades, depending on how closer or far they are from the sun. The trees that are further away from the sun will be deeper, darker green, especially in the areas where the sunlight doesn't hit. As trees get closer to the sun, their shades shift, starting from light green, then blending into yellow, then to orange and even little red, where the light is strongest. I'm painting the trees further from the sun with more detail and darker tones to help create a sense of depth. I'm moving on to detailing the grasses. I'm following the same color palette rule, while the areas touched by sunlight have a soft yellow glow. The further away grasses from the sun appears darker. After everything is dry, I'm adding a full fun detail, splattering some white acrylic paint over the grass to create the look of tiny wildflowers scattered across the landscape. And for the final touch, I'm lifting up some paints with a dry brush to create soft sun rays passing through the trees, adding even more warmth and atmosphere. Now that everything is completely dry, I'm carefully removing the washi tape from the edges. Finally adding my signature shade at the corner. I hope this painting brings as much joy to them as it did to me while creating it. I hope you enjoyed this whole process. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.